here we are, rocking the stock market weekly recap. As we do every week, we love to see it. We're going to go into the portfolios, both the Robinhood, the M1. We'll look at the upcoming week for me. We'll take a look at how the normal indices did, and then we'll get into the news. So we'll start with the Robinhood. On the week, up 2.6%. Pretty good week for us, but could have seen better days. Obviously, there was a rough day Tuesday, but every other day was pretty positive for us, can't lie to you. Brings us all time now to up 45.92% or $6,727. Love to see it. So as far as movements on the week, we'll take a look at what we had. Nothing too crazy, but lovely stuff here with Iron Mountain paying out their dividend. Iron Mountain giving $19.83, which got reinvested for 0.72 shares. We love to see that. We had obviously a crazy trade here. Really a shift here with TD Ameritrade shares getting merged since Charles Schwab bought them out. I got merged, and I received 4 shares of Charles Schwab for my TD Ameritrade shares that I had, the 4 I had, and the rest is going to be paid in cash in the upcoming weeks. Haven't gotten the cash yet, but I do have my 4 Charles Schwab shares. We've got HP, paid a dividend as well, $2.45, nothing crazy. Got to reinvest for 0.12 shares. Not too wild. On the M1 perspective, actually a bad week for us. Market gain, we were actually down, but if you add dividends, we were just barely up by about $2. Not great. Brings us all time to 48.63 or $2,342. If you're looking at just the positions, we are up $2,178 or 17.39%. So good stuff. Talking about activity, obviously we had some crazy stuff in terms of activity. The Charles Schwab merger happened on this one too. So we had our normal buys on the 5th. Nothing wild here. Bought some extra Disney this time around. Why not? But we had this swap, and then I sold off the Charles Schwab shares immediately on this one. Didn't really feel the need to have it on this portfolio and the other one. It felt a little redundant for Charles Schwab, so I sold it immediately for $288, and that got reinvested right away. Nothing crazy here, but about 30 of all my dividends stocks. So what I did was I upped my percentage in terms of dividends, so that 2% that was used for TD Ameritrade got put into the dividend section here. So we're going to see more purchases of that in the upcoming future. The week ahead for me, using Smart Portfolio, beautiful thing by the way, you should definitely use this. Nothing crazy, really just an ex-dividend day for ABBV. The week after that is going to be a big one for us, and the week following that even bigger as earnings season is on, baby. I don't have many financials, so I do have Bank of America, but it's on my M1, which is not tracked on this NASDAQ Smart Portfolio. So good stuff here though. Not a crazy week for us, but as far as the indices, I underperformed both, all three, I should say. The Dow Jones up 3.27, brings us on the year in the green now. Actually crazy, up 0.17% on the year. The S&P 500 was up 3.84 on the year, now up 7.63, and the Nasdaq another massive week, up 4.56. which brings us 29.06% on the year. Crazy stuff. On the news front, we have some quality stuff with AMC pledging that they're going to keep theaters open, where Cineworld's Regal Theaters chain has said that they will be keeping some places closed. A majority of their theaters will be closed. Really mostly due to lack of new films, and it's quite significant because you see there's a lot of delays coming out, and even companies going straight to direct to consumer like Disney is. So AMC saying they're going to stay open. I don't know how they're going to do this when there's no new releases really coming out very few. So it's going to be interesting to see this. These theater companies, they're going to be losing a lot of money, and I think in the future they will too, because I think the traditional theaters as we know it are dying, and I think this is just going to exaggerate that a little bit. We have GE dipping pretty hard on Tuesday. So the SEC has been conducting an investigation of GE's revenue recognition and internal controls over financial reporting tied to long-term service agreements. So they're going to be, they received a Wells notice, so we'll see what that looks like for them, if they're going to be paying any sort of penalty. Don't know. We have obviously the House Antitrust Committee coming after yet again Google, Amazon, Apple, and Facebook, as they do, because they are monopoly powers apparently. Really, it's just government delaying anything. They don't want to do any work. Just want to seem like they're busy, but that's government for you. Instead of getting your stimulus checks, baby, they're going to be getting focused on this garbage. We have Facebook completely banning all political ads, supposedly. Let's be fair. They tend to have a little bit of a bias, so I don't know if they necessarily will entirely, but they're going to be banning all political ads until after the election or after the polls close. Really won't know a winner on the election for quite a while because of these mail-in ballots. So, but November 3rd is when they're going to allow political ads again. Regeneron was up because, well, President Donald, he received some great treatment using Regeneron's antibody serum, antibody treatment to help really reduce the viral load of what he had gotten when he became ill with a little bit of the coronavirus. So obviously he praised it pretty well in one of his Twitter videos that he posted. So good for Regeneron there. We see Warner Media is restructuring, which is going to cost them, going to be cutting costs, which means thousands of jobs getting cut as well. Not a shocker from Warner Media, really a dinosaur in this day and age. They're going to be taking some hits. AT&T needs to start restructuring some of their not as good parts of their business. And speaking of obviously moving direct to consumer, Disney is moving Soul straight to skipping theaters entirely. Soul is going straight to streaming for potentially a cost. I'll like to see what that looks like for Disney, but it's interesting to say. Soul's going to be entirely free as of now, so obviously don't know what that means for them in the future, if they're going to be planning on keeping more content free that they add to it. I hope they do, because I think it's a good strategy for them to keep subscribers and get people going. Maybe make it cheaper, obviously, instead of the $30 for Mulan. We'll see what that looks like. So, really hope you enjoyed this, and you have a great day, great week, and you're amazing. You're amazing.